Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Now it's mid-March, and this is where your garden could or could not take off. This is part of our series where we tell you what to plant, when to plant, what month, depending on what zone you're in. So let's get to it. Some of the places are in full spring, and some of them are still one cold snap away from disaster. In this video, I'm going to give you mid-March planting winners by zone, so you plant what works where you live. Now we use these four zone bands: 3 to 5, 6 to 7, 8 to 9, and 10 to 11. Now, here's a quick region guide. This varies by elevation and microclimate zones. 3 to 5, we're talking about your upper Midwest, northern plains, northern New England, and higher elevations. And 6 to 7, we're talking mid Atlantic, much of the Midwest, inland, and Northwest and southern parts at elevation. Zones 8 to 9, your southeast Gulf Coast, southern plains, and much of the southwest and coastal California. Zones 10 to 11, this is South Florida, southern Texas, desert, southwest pockets, and coastal California and Hawaii. So here's a quick translation of what all that means. 3 to 5 is your northern tier. 6 to 7 means middle of the country and mid-Atlantic. 8 to 9 means the south and warm west. And 10 to 11 are mostly frost-free pockets. So you got to find your band. I'll tell you what's safe to plant outside now and where to start for later if you're in zones 3 to 5, which is where I live. Mid-March is still about the cool season crops protection and start warming crops indoor. Here's your best bets: undercover and protected planting like spinach, arugula, and lettuce. Direct sow when the soil is workable. Peas you can start indoors along with tomatoes, and keep your peppers if indoors if you have it. Some setup: container growers, greens, and pots are a win right now. Backyard beds: if your soil is soggy, don't compact it. Use raised beds or containers. Landowners, you can start a simple succession plan. Plant greens early, every 10 to 14 days for a steady harvest. Mistakes to avoid now. Here, don't plant warm crops outside just because the snow is gone and you get a few couple of days warm. Nights can still bite. In zone 6 to 7, here's your sweet spot for cool season planting. This is where you build a strong spring harvest. Your best bets for mid-March potatoes: if you plant if you plant them in the spring: brassicas, broccoli, cabbage, kale, root crops. Beets, carrots, and radishes indoors. You can also start tomatoes and peppers if you haven't already, and start basil for later for you people who like those herbs. Here's some setup notes: container growers like beets and lettuce are easy wins and pots. Backyard beds: mulch lightly after seedlings emerge and hold that moisture. Landowners, you got to plant in blocks for efficiency. Same crop, same watering. Zones 8 to 9 can transition towards warm season planting, but you can still stack some cool season crops harvest on top. Your best bet for mid-March is tomatoes if the nights are consistently mild, squash and zucchini if your nights are warm enough, herbs, and basil and green onions. Cool season is still worth it, but keep planting lettuce, chard, kale, and especially with partial shade. Quick setup notes now. Container growers, tomatoes do great in 10 to 15 gallon pots with consistent watering. Backyard beds, mulch because that's your best friend. Landowners, you got to plan your irrigation early and drip lines, save time and increase your yield. Now, in 10 to 11, these are your hot zones. Planting warm season crops while planning ahead for that heat. You got to watch out. Mid-March: cucumbers, beans, sweet potatoes, and where you can transplant peppers. Your heat strategy: you want to mulch early, water consistently, and consider afternoon shade plans for tender plants. If you don't know your USDA zone, your hardiness zones, you can search that online, and your zip code. And remember, we use zone bands 3 to 5, 6 to 7, 8 to 9, and 10 to 11. So your mid-March checklist is here. Check your soil workability. If it's muddy, you want to wait for those or use containers or raised bed. You got to have a cover plan. You want to keep things covered for frost cloth for those surprise snap cold nights. And you want to use succession planting, planting greens and radishes and waves for a steady harvest. And you water consistently. Shallow seeds fail when the surface dries out. Now, if you only do one thing in this window, do this: plant one cool season winter crop and start your warm season crops indoors. If your zone band needs it, that is a mid-March planting by zone. Next up, mid-March is what to do for fruit trees, brushes, and vines. Then we move to late planting. You can comment your zone and tell me what you're growing in containers, backyard beds, or on land if you go. So if you want a full system and plant gardens by zones, check out my book. Getting dollars from dirt. This is where you get a chance to own land and find out the best strategies on to pick the right plot of land that you can get. You can always go to ancestrylands.com to get land that we offer and sell, no credit checks and no interest. And also make sure you check the description section below for affiliate links as I include them for things that can help you plant and start your harvest in this video. I'm Phil Davis. Thank you. Hope your mid-March is going great. Let's get started planting those seeds. Take care and I'll see you in the next one. That's it, folks. You can go to Ancestry Lands to start owning property today with payments starting at $250 a month, no credit checks, and owning land has never been easier. It's time to build your land portfolio one property at a time. We help you to get dollars from dirt and build generational wealth by owning small plots of affordable vacant land. Contact us to learn more. Oh, and speaking of dollars from dirt, I also wrote a book about investing in land for you readers out there. My book, Getting Dollars from Dirt, A Beginner's Guide to Vacant Land Investing, is on Amazon. The link is in the description section below. Inside, you'll learn simple, easy to read insights that will have you understanding why you should own land today. For more tips and tricks, subscribe for updates, comment below, and let us know what you enjoyed about this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
And remember, like and subscribe.